Do you guys know the expression, you can't teach me anything? I seen a stripper quit on stage. Well, I learned something over the weekend I wanted to explain to everyone in the world that surprised me. All right, I was in the state, home of the strippers, Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the strippers, right? The best place in the world for a stripper to react. You know, like, what's that thing called? The combine of strippers, where strippers become top notch, beyond level, hardcore. They run the 40. They see how far they can pass. I'm doing football references because it's seasons and I don't understand football. But top of the line. I was over there with a good old friend, Michael Vaughn. Vaughn Michael. Jesus, backwards. And we went there because he had a show throughout the weekend. I came over because it was a free weekend for me. I thought I can enjoy it as a little vacay. I'm not going nowhere unless I get to go at least to go to a strip club. So we got there, drove about 4 or 5 hours, got there, touchdown, went to the strip club 1 hour before closing, prime time hours, as you may expect. It wasn't. We walked in to the first one. It was a BYOB. Terrible goddamn experience. You should not bring your own liquor to a strip club. It's more of a. It's like if you have a birthday party. That's the type of environment it was. Everyone knew each other. People were complimenting each other's trucks. The bouncer was friendly-ish. He had a stupid fucking accent. He sounded like, I don't know, he owned the fucking trash disposal industry, if you know what I mean. A little mobster-ish. He told us straight up, like, this is not the place for you. It wasn't a racist thing at all, but he's like, this is not the place for you if you're looking for a shitty strip club. This over here is beyond shit, all right? It's like beyond butter. It was beyond shit. And he recommended us another strip club about 20 minutes down the road. It was already past midnight, so we're like, fuck it. We're not here for a good time. We're here for 20 fucking minutes. We went to the other strip club. I like the fucking security didn't even notice us for the first 5 minutes. He was just talking shit to the other guy, and I just walked around. I was like, "Hey, can we fucking get pat down and get our fucking money lost?" And my buddy Vaughn, he's not really a big fan. He's not the biggest fan of a strip club, not as much as me. I'm an advocate, all right. I go in and I try to find the worst one I could find. Either way, the fucking security guy, he was all nice. He was all dandy. Sat down. One stripper on stage. Not even on. One stripper walking around the zip code. Not pretty. That's the word I could use. Not pretty. Not ugly either. About nine and a half Bud Lights in, you'll find her a six, maybe a six. She did have something very unique though. It was a split tongue and a horrible father. Disgusting. No, it was surprising to me. I've never seen a split tongue in my life. I thought that was just for like goth girls and runaway dads or some random shit. I didn't think I would find that attractive, honestly. But when I saw it, I was like, what could that do on my penis? How would that feel getting my dick sucked with a split? Would it feel like two different people doing it at the same time? Would it feel like both the sides are getting equal amount of love? I don't know. I didn't understand it. I didn't get any type of love like that. Either way, she was all tied up, kind of busted, kind of gross, very gross, honestly. She did her little dance and shit. We told her like we're here just for the night. We're here. He's a comedian. I'm here just supporting him. And she said, "Do you want to see something cool?" Honestly, if you ever hear that line at a strip club, just know, get a seatbelt on. Get ready, cause you might not fucking understand what the hell that meant. I wasn't gonna be amused. I was like, maybe. What the fuck can you do? Read a damn book? Get a better connection with your father? What can you do that's that damn cool? She's like, just wait till I get on stage. Like there's any other stripper there. She was the last one, the last hour to close. She's like, she got on stage, showed me her asshole, a butt plug. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a butt plug. I'm not 16. A butt plug's not entertaining me at all. She popped out the butt plug without using her hands. Kind of interesting, but not a showstopper. All right, I'm here for the show. I'm not here to get entertained. Popped out the fucking butt plug without her using her hands. Popped in a don't know where the fuck she found it. Popped in a basketball rim that you would use on the back of a door. You know, something you would throw around a couple friends, maybe in a college party. Something for a little bit of entertainment. But somehow she can figure out to put that shit in her ass. So now there's a rim outside of her asshole, and she said she starts shooting. which was interesting, which really was. And I lost $20 fast. I just kept fucking. I was Kobeing that bitch. I was like, who. I tried to dunk on that bitch too, but it didn't work out. It was an easy way to. It was very entertaining too at the same time. I would never expect a stripper to do that. I didn't win. I didn't win at all. My boy Vaughn didn't win at all. Neither of us won, but we were very entertained, disgusted, amused, but entertained at the same time. Do I know her name? No. Why would I remember a girl's name like that? Very, very interesting though. Either way, I did get a dance from her after I got a dance from another bitch. She was like a skinny bitch. I fuck with skinny bitches, honestly. I'm a skinny bitch too. That's my type. So she just walked in after doing some type of shit. Maybe fucking sniffing a line off the bathroom wall or some shit. I didn't see her the whole time. She just walked up and I was like, yep, that's my type. How the fuck did they find her? She asked me if I wanted to dance. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Went to the back, paid about it's $30 a dance. It's like topless dance and shit. I'm like, dude, it's like you're a fucking stripper. Everything is topless. You're already fucking half naked. You're already naked, not even half naked. You're 2 inches. You have 2 inches of clothing on. Why the fuck would I pay extra? And I did because I was drunk. Paid for that shit. She was about like 45 maybe ish. She said she was in her 40s. And I was surprised because she was still fucking bad. And I'll try to hit on her and shit. And I really was. Ass was alright. Tits was tiny. My type of gal. Can't complain. Didn't tip her at all because I already paid for the fucking dance. Why would I tip her after that? And I wanted to try the other girl out, the fucking asshole rim girl out. Got a dance from her. It was not worth it. That was the word. That's the word of it. It was not worth it. Would I do it again? No. If I was drunk, maybe because it was fun. But no, never again. Very waste. It was a waste of money. It wasted time, wasted money. We didn't go again the second night because that overall thing right there was not worth it. And I've been to Philadelphia strip clubs inside the city or outside the city, and now inside the countryside, which I did not know how big Pennsylvania was. It's fucking huge, and there's a lot of fucking deer too. It's scary as fuck driving around at night, like 1 a.m. It's scary as fuck because deers can kill you. They can kill you driving 30 miles an hour. They'll just land right inside the driver's seat if you really want to. So I drove around a couple hours. I mean, drove around after hours and shit. Did I enjoy the fucking scenery? Not at night. At night is terrifying. The fog picks up. You can't tell. And if my car breaks down, like, I'm gonna just die. I'm not knocking at a door at 1 a.m. saying, oh, yeah, my car broke. It's me and this dreadhead ass nigga. Can you please help us out? That doesn't work out at all. I'm a mechanic too. I can fix anything. I can't fix the racism that's lurking around inside the woods over there. It was all back roads, no fucking street lights. Just a dangerous area for niggas, honestly. Did I feel comfortable at all? No. During the day though, it was beautiful. The mountains, I think they have the Blue Ridge Mountains up there. The Blue Ridge Mountains are absolutely stunning. Like, it's an awing fucking view every single time I looked at it. I was like, damn. If that shit, if anything came over the horizon, because I was expecting like a big ass waterfall to come over the horizon and just wipe me out, I would be happy. Not like I wanted to have it, more or less that I got to see it before it crushed me down. Because it's fucking awesome up there. Just the scenery during the day. I mean, at night it is fucking terrifying, just gross. But what was interesting during the whole time, it was Von Michael's weekend the whole time. Real cool cat, real cool dude. First time I got to hang out with him for a whole weekend, just me and him and stuff. No homo. I have to say that because he was doing a show for a dating scenery. I think that's the word. A dating thing. Everyone there is on dates. It's a dating thing. And it kind of felt weird because it was me and him, and I was dressing pretty decent, so I looked like I was this fucking gay faggot fucking boyfriend. But I wasn't. I'm not that type of guy. Nothing against that at all. You can be gay. I don't give a shit. Just don't show me your gay stuff. I don't really care. I don't want to see it too. So yeah, that was pretty interesting to see it because it was more or less clean comedy, but I didn't have a real definition for clean comedy. I truly thought clean comedy was like puns and wordplay and shit you can tell a fucking fifth grader. I didn't know clean comedy can consist of like kind of weird things, not like disgusting or uncomfortable, but like just weird things or dirt, little bit of dirt. It's really gave me a good definition of clean comedy. It's more of the I can tell you this joke at work, or I can tell you this joke at work because we're friends, not because we don't know each other. It's not the first joke you can say to somebody, but if you hang out with them for like a week, it's perfectly fine to say it. You won't feel uncomfortable. They shouldn't feel uncomfortable, even if it bombs or it fucking kills. It's not more or less the swearing that really gives it away for clean and dirt. It's more or less the idea and the perspective you're painting someone's head. Like beating women is pretty dirty, but smacking a hoe is pretty clean, which is weird. I don't know. I'm not the king of clean comedy or dirty comedy. I'm just trying to do comedy, but it really was interesting just seeing it in itself because people enjoyed their time, and I got to see it as a background character. So I could see the people's faces and the reactions and see how people were turned on or turned off per joke in which parts. Crowd work was necessary because it's more of it's an intimate environment where people are there because they know one person intimately, and that's the general idea. It's not like strangers on strangers on strangers. Everyone's there because they love someone else, and that's a mutual understanding. So when he would do crowd work talking about, hey, so how did you guys meet, or where are you guys from, it was friendly, it was welcoming, it made people more open, and it was needed inside that environment, which was strange to me. Because I always thought crowd work was like a throwaway bit. Like, oh, yeah, I'm doing crowd work because I ran out of material 4 minutes ago and I just want to eat up time now. And I think I'm that funny where I can just make fun of wherever you're from and shit. But no, it's a really good tool at the end of the day. It is a useful tool at the end of the day, too, especially if you want to be more of a professional and use it in different types of scenes. I've only respected until before the weekend, I've only respected club comics and club acts, maybe some theaters. No respect for arena guys. There's no reason to have respect for arena guys. They treat everyone, or it feels like an ant. You're just an ant inside an ant farm. There's nothing really like intimate, or they're not really reading the room. They're just saying script line for line. It's interesting. It really is because it's a lot more deeper than just a laugh, which is fun to think about, not just fun to experience, but to think about. Is much deeper than just a laugh. It's a conversation, and I try to get it there to a conversation pace or conversation environment when I try to get on stage and have at least a decent level of understanding what I'm doing in the joke, where I'm waiting for a response or looking or thinking a little bit more or wondering if I said something wrong or I need to say a little bit more clearly what I said or go double down because they wanted to double down and stuff. It's very interesting too. Something else that I really want to talk about though is a conversation I had with good old Vaughn about the business aspect of comedy, which is interesting. It's more of the background, the money making beyond the art, not above it or below it, but what it actually entails. How can you become an artist at the end of the day? What's your audience? How are you perceived towards other people in different groups? I have a general understanding of being a dickhead, so I can just call it out, even though if I'm right or wrong, but I can still call it out, which is at least efficient. It might not be right, I get it, but if I can look at you and see your comedy, I would stare at the people instead of staring at you. I really don't give a shit about your motion, your hand movements, or whatever you do on stage. I'm waiting for everyone else's responses. If it's like a frown, rising eyebrows, a throw of hands, or just looking at your phone, a lot of those things really matter to me in the sense of comedy business. Because if I own the club and if I wanted my club to do good, I'll look for the audience inside the area. I'll look for the audience that pays the most. I'll look for the consistency. Who's going to come back to my club? And I'll try to find what person would fit that narrative. And it might be gay, straight, bi, BLT, white, black, Mexican, whatever you guys want to fucking say. You just need to find the right audience. And we were talking about different comedians just as thought experiments, dropping a name, and I would think about what type of audience they would fall in, who would feel comfortable listening to them, and who would feel comfortable, which is the most important part, approaching them after the show, willing to have a conversation with them, which is the biggest part about it, because it represents the comedy club, because you decided to put them over for the whole weekend, and it represents the comedian because you're finding a way to network and expand your fan base to someone who's going to be loyal. I saw some dude that walked up to Vaughn that said he's seen him at other spots and was excited that he saw his name on the list for the show tonight, and I was like, God damn, that fucking matters. And he went up and talked to him again, tried to ask him, why aren't you doing Kill Tony? And why aren't you doing other stuff like this? I want to see you do those shows and do good on those shows too. Which is a not just like someone who enjoyed the show, but a fan, someone who's wants to see you get bigger and better because they know your comedy's gonna get bigger and better. It's more about loyalty, it's more about respect, it's more about the craft of the art. And when you have those type of people, you need to have something to give to them. You need to have a card. You need to find a way for them to stay in tune with you. They shouldn't wait a month to see you again. They should wait maybe a week at max for some type of content where it's respectable for you as a performer to put out to the world and as him as an audience member to witness and also enjoy to themselves, even if they tell no one else, but they can enjoy it throughout the week, which is interesting as fuck because what I do with this podcast is supposed to be a way to expand the area of DC to make it a hub for comedy, like all the other spots too. And two is to practice my own comedy. So if I do have a fan, if I do good on this shit, I can tell someone who see me on stage, yo, tune into my podcast so you can see more of my content, so you can see more of me, so you can decide if I'm the right voice that you would want to hear every single week. Because at the end of the day, it might be unconscious. It might not be a big thing, but you're tuned into somebody. If you're not aware of it, that's up to you. But if you are aware of it, you would understand why you're tuned into them. I love to hear, for example, I love to hear drama on the internet. I love the internet drama because it's interesting, it provides me a narrative, it makes a storyline, and it's ongoing, and it can go in any single direction. And I always tune in for that, either it be comedy, YouTubers, or content creators in itself. It makes it all interesting for me. And I always tune into the people who talk about the drama. I'm not like a reality TV. I don't like reality TV per se, but I do like the day-to-day drama between day-to-day people on the internet sphere. And I hope it's fake because sometimes the drama goes a little bit further than just entertainment and goes into legality and someone else's harm or well-being or either or family members and friends that might get in between them. And that doesn't sound entertaining to me, but it is still entertaining. Kind of. Ah, damn, that kind of was backspoken. The thing is, too, that was really interesting is that me and Vaughn were talking about this. Me and Vaughn were naming out like 10, 15 comedians. And at the end of it, Vaughn's like, do you understand what you're doing? And I was like, what? Do you understand what you're saying right now? I was like, yeah, kind of. I'm thinking about it inside of marketing and a business aspect. What's the best way for you to perform and what people are going to be good for you? He's like, yeah, now do it for yourself. And then we both fucking laughed. I was like, fucking shit. You're goddamn right. Why haven't I thought about myself like this? Why haven't I thought about the podcast like this? Why haven't I moved forward in my own comedy career and stopped treating it like a hobby where I don't give a flying fucking shit and treat it more like a career and a business where it needs to have a marketing plan, it needs to have an order of operations, it needs to have a production value, it needs to have a skill level and effort of where I produce something, someone enjoys it, they want more, I need to give them more. If I can't give them more, that means I'm not running a good business. If I make burgers for a living, if I run a burger shack, right, make burgers for a living, someone eats a burger, is like, this shit is delicious. They come back tomorrow and I tell them, oh yeah, I don't got burgers anymore. I got chicken sandwiches. They're like, what the fuck? I came for burgers. Let me get burgers. And they try a chicken sandwich, like, kind of. And then they come back tomorrow. I mean, they won't come back tomorrow. They come back a week later. It's like, you got the burgers still? It's like, yeah, we got burgers, chicken sandwiches, and salads. It's like, I'll just take a burger. And then they follow up the next day. I'll just take a burger. Let's take a burger. Take a burger. They come for something. Don't fucking throw it away. Do not underestimate someone's energy and persistence for a certain thing. Because I might be producing something where I think is boring or I think it's not a level of performance where I enjoy. But someone might enjoy exactly that. And there's no reason to stop doing it at all. There's a reason to make it better, but not to stop doing it. That example made no fucking sense to me. I was just yapping because I thought I was on a fucking roll. It was interesting, though, to have the conversation because I don't really have that conversation with people, generally. I have conversations about business, kind of, with my mobile mechanic work, where my boss would ask me, what's a better way we can get this shit done? He would ask me that almost every single day after a job, if we had the time and we weren't too tired. He would ask me, how can we make this better? How can we make this more efficient? And I would always suggest something small, something the tiniest thing, too. I also implement it in my own career, where I am in charge of a shop right now, unofficially in charge of a shop, and I am improving the order of operations where I'm trying to cut out minutes, not like days off operations, but minutes off operations, to where people aren't tired looking for something, or people aren't tired doing the most minuscule task when it can already be done and written out so we can get things done more efficiently. That's at the end of the day, it's a business. Everything is business. If you treat it like kind of like a business in any type of sense, you would understand the levels of how to improve it by the smallest thing. I truly hope that this makes sense to somebody other than to me, because it makes sense in conversation. It's hard to repeat solo dolo. That's something that's also I am truly fighting towards, because I can have this conversation with myself, I can record it and produce it, but if I don't have at least some type of backlash, some type of conversation like me and Vaughn had, it's hard to really dig deep and get my brain like tickling to have a level of understanding to a point where it makes sense to someone else and it makes sense to me, and I can articulate it even deeper, or I can get a deeper point inside of it. But that's also the way it goes too. Like, it's not gonna get perfect in the first try. I am trying to find a way to illustrate a level of production inside of this instead of just making a diary at the end of the day. So I'll just explain it because I'm trying to work towards it a better way. The first thing is always going to be a break. So as soon as you watch the video, there's going to be a break, meaning that it's going to be something interesting, something funny, something where instead of doing like an intro where I'm saying, "Whoa, welcome to AK Talks Morning Show. I'm your host, AK, and hopefully all of you guys are having a lovely day. Today we got Dota." It's more of the strippers, right? And I talk about strippers. That was the first idea, first break for this episode. Second thing is just an idea. It can be a story. It can be whatever I did, but it has to be a strong enough point where it's going to add up time up to 5 to 10 minutes. Then I'm not even there yet, but then it's going to be me shouting out the DC area. I'm going to be over at Encore Comedy, Encore's Bulldog over at Chinatown in DC for Friday and Saturday doing an open mic. Hopefully all of you guys tune in and show up if you guys inside the DC area too. The only reason I do that is not because it's a fucking lit goddamn mic or it's a fucking showcase or anything. It's more just a repetition and shit to promote myself in a sense, because once it starts getting popping, I can start dropping bigger names, and hopefully if you're in that area, you get to go there. But right now, it's just Encore Comedy over on Friday and Saturday nights, late night mics. Anyone can sign up and join. If you're interested in doing comedy, you can go there and do it. But I'm going to be there with my good old friends. Hopefully, they're all going to be there. And then I'll follow that up with like anecdotal ideas, evidence, or thoughts. Something where I can explain someone else the way I think, in a sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to read a damn book to talk about on this podcast. I'm not looking into a drama podcast or drama information. What's that? Crime scene shit. I'm not going to look at that shit. I'm just going to talk about things that I understand so I can articulate it to someone else, because that's a lot of fun for me to do. Either way, the business mentality is a very good conversation to have with yourself and with someone else. If someone else does not enjoy the business mentality conversations, that's up to them. You can't force that. It comes naturally for some, and some people are dying towards that direction. That's no problem at all. There's no right or wrong way to do business. The best way is just to try at the end of the day. I also had a conversation about a little bit of sobriety with a friend, a fellow comedian with me. He wasn't feeling as good as he once was. I truly understand that. I had my down days about a month ago-ish. I talked about it on the cast too. Sobriety does kind of help. It really does help a lot. Because if you're drinking or smoking every single day and it's continuous, you need to have a sober night. Not a sober day, not a sober whatever, just a sober night. Some time where you can like cut off the time and sleep a little bit more peacefully to reset your mind and shit. It helped me a decent amount. I'm not saying I'm fixed. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it did help me a decent amount to de-stress. It's very weird because I don't have a lot of things generally to do throughout the day. I always feel like it's a lot more than it is. And the plate starts piling up once you start doing other shit to your brain and body. If you don't focus on sleeping, eating right, and drinking water, it's so simple. These three things, they will dictate the fucking shit out your life in a negative way which sucks, which really does suck, because everyone wants to feel like a monster. Everyone wants to feel like, or not a monster. Everyone wants to feel like a Superman or unbeatable or untouchable and shit. But those three things really does dictate the rest of your day, let alone week and lifestyle. So focus on that. At least focus on the sleeping aspect. Sleeping aspect is the biggest out of those three, honestly. You can fix your diet little by little, and you can drink water easily. You should be thirsty generally. Water does taste good. It does feel good. So if you're not drinking, I think I forget what it is, but for me it's about 8 to 10 water bottles a day. Then you might feel a little bit dehydrated. You might feel a little bit weak. You should aim for a feeling of confidence and power in your body, not outside, but in your body. And then work outside. Work on your how you dress, how you talk to people, how you look, how you approach the people. Be more mindful in conversation and be more respectful. Just have an everyday, regular conversation with a random person. That's what I'm working towards too right now. Just to have a conversation and not asking someone anything inside the conversation. Just a hey, how do you do? Just try to have one of those a day, which is weird because there's no reason to do it other than trying to do it. You're not gonna die if you don't do it, and you're not gonna live any better doing it. It's just you should try to do it, just to boost up mentality. At the end of the day, humanity is a social creature. If you don't feed that social bug, it's gonna eat at you from the inside out, and then you're gonna be less approachable. You're gonna be less. Look, you're not gonna want to have a conversation. And if you don't want to have a conversation with a random Joe Schmo, it's gonna eat at you. So I am working towards that right now. I can say recently, over on Saturday when I was buying some shit over at the Harbor Freight, I was looking at some the clearance section tools where people return shit, so it's half price. And some dude was just standing next to me, and I felt like we are both thinking the same shit. Like, there ain't nothing fucking good here. So that's what I fucking said to him. I was like, there ain't nothing fucking good here. And he's like, yeah, I feel you, brother. And we just had a conversation what tools we were looking for and what tools we already had. And we're like pointing shit out. And we just hit each other with a good old fist pump, like, all right, stay up, brother, and just fucking fist pumped it back. And I was like, that's fun. I didn't hear his name. He didn't ask me anything. I didn't ask him anything. And I didn't even see him on the fucking when I walked out the store. So it was very reciprocal in the amount of energy I gave out and the amount of energy he gave back to me. I also saw an old coworker today too, since we're on the topic of random conversations. I saw this guy I used to work with when I was working at the school. I saw him about. I walked into the store, grocery store, and he was already in line, or he was already down the line, some shit, trying to buy some. I forgot what he was buying, but I was trying to scream his name because I really fuck with this nigga heavy. Real cool cat, and I didn't want to. I wanted to surprise him, so I was thinking about like, how can I surprise him? How can I surprise him? And I walked up to him. I just told him to. I said, "Nice shoes, there, boy." And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he looked at me, and he looked again. He's like, "Hey!" And I screamed, "Hey!" And we had a good call, good quick hi and bye. He works with children, so I get it. He's tired as fuck. He doesn't want to have an after-school conversation after working all day while having that social goddamn bug energized and shit. It's hard to describe. I don't feel like it is, but if you work with any type of people throughout the day, it drains the fucking shit at you. At the end of the day, you want to have a calm, quiet, by yourself day, and I fucking get it. There's nothing against someone who thinks like that at all. But I try to have some type of conversation, and I totally forgot why I got fired from that job. It was bad, but I totally forgot, and I tried to bring it up again. And I noticed he didn't want to have the conversation. No, I felt no resentment. I was like, I didn't feel disrespected at all. I was like, I get it. You're fucking worked. So I just gave him a good old double dap and I walked away, which was very fun and very entertaining. There was a question I wanted to bring up for this pod. I don't know if I paused this. No, I didn't. All right. All right. So this question comes from Reddit, and I'm trying to understand Reddit. I feel like a dumbass fucking dude not understanding Reddit, but this is ask men, why are there so many dudes willing to degrade themselves for just a crumble of female attention? Most of the answers are pretty accurate. It's just desperation, isolation, and loneliness. I think it's more of that, pinch of that, and pinch of something else. Being degraded in a sense of losing General respect for what you do, general respect to who you are, what family you come from, your name, your body, it dove etc. I couldn't say the word. Therefore and after, I think that's the saying. But degrading yourself is a feeling at the end of the day, and you want to feel something. If you're going through a loneliness and a depressive state, and degrading is much more of a feeling than nothingness or desperation and loneliness. I don't think it's because of it. I think it's a symptom of it, and I think all those men truly don't want that feeling deep down inside, but they rather feel something than nothing. And I feel like at that point, they're a couple steps away from just offering themselves truly. So if you do enjoy that or do are doing, I mean, I don't want to say do twice, and are doing that right now, find a way for your body to feel other than that. Exercise is a big one, but just an understanding of something else, a hobby. Let your brain get that tickling feeling where you're doing something actively engaging your body and mind at the same time. And I think you would be just as satisfied with that results, especially if it's a physical thing where you can hold in your hand that, hey, I completed this and I feel proud. You gotta say something where feel is part of it. Feeling something is way more important than feeling, and feelings are feelings. That's what I mean. It's all in the same jar at the end of the day. Degrading and happiness just are a label away. Same volume, same consistency. So try to feel the other words instead of feeling degraded. But other than that, this has been AK Talks Morning Show. If you enjoyed the show, please say something. If you didn't, say what you didn't enjoy. I am AK. I am trying to make this a little bit better. And hopefully, we have Johannes coming up on the next episode or a Mir coming on the next episode. But have a classy day.